This is TWiT.
As we go to press, Apple has pushed out a WatchKit SDK and video, and Mr. Rene Ritchie has been listening as you see or watching the video. Get your iPhone. This is at the developer's site, developer.apple.com/WatchKit. Get your iPhone app ready for Apple Watch. This is good news. I mean, tell us, Rene, what we've had so far and what's new in this release.
So all we've had so far is the event, the Apple iWatch event, where Tim Cook got up on stage and introduced the iWatch, and Kevin Lynch gave us a basic idea of what it does. And they promised us we'd be getting an SDK, a software development kit for developers, around November. So now it's November, and the WatchKit SDK is out, along with Xcode 6.2 and iOS 8.2 SDK, because the Apple Watch right now is dependent on the iPhone. So the way it's going to work, it looks like, is you deliver your app to the iPhone, and that pushes interface to the Apple Watch. And developers can make full interfaces, which are full apps. They can make glances, which are like widgets. And they can make actionable notifications, which is sort of like a little alert comes in and you can do something with it. That's pretty much exactly what they promised us that they would be delivering. There's a couple interesting things in there. Like, it looks like the two watch sizes are actually different resolutions. The 38 versus 42 millimeter. The 42 millimeter actually has more pixels, which plays into sort of the iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus having more pixels. Yeah. So they're not just blowing it up. It's not going to be more blurry or less sharp. It's going to just have more real estate, a little bit more real estate for you.
Those larger sizes are available in all three models, or no?
Yes, there's aluminum, stainless steel, and gold, and you can get 38 and 42 millimeter in both. Okay,
so that's good. That means that is kind of like the 6 and 6 Plus of watches.
It sounds complicated at first, but when you think about it, you choose the size the same way you choose a 6 or a 6 Plus. Then you choose the finish, whether you want aluminum, stainless steel, or gold. The same way you choose
whether your wallet can afford then which one the wallet.
Well, yes,
they start at $350 for aluminum, so we know it's going to be a hefty price tag.
Gold is real gold, so it's going to go up. Yeah. But then you choose your strap the same way you pick a case for a phone. So like the same way you pick a blue or a red or a black case.
Is that going to be included in the price?
It's a simple. I believe it'll come with a strap. The more expensive straps will probably be more expensive. Right. There'll probably be a base strap that comes with the watch material that you choose, whether it's sport or the regular or the edition version. And this, if you watch the video, it sounds to me, there's no official confirmation, but it sounds to me like it's Jake Barron's voice. He's the frameworks evangelist at Apple.
Because that's what this is. This is an SDK, but they're really saying it's a framework. What is the difference?
Yeah, it's the same as when the original. So the SDK is just the kit. It's the collection of frameworks that developers can use to target the Apple Watch. And the frameworks are a bunch of different classes and sample code and a whole bunch of other things that developers can use to easily make apps. It's just one of the strengths of iOS in general is the quality of what they call the Cocoa Touch framework, similar to the Cocoa frameworks on the Mac. And those are the things that developers target, and then those frameworks go into a lot of heavy lifting for them. It means they don't have to write all the base code to do all the base functionality themselves. Apple's pre-created a bunch of it for them.
When I hear framework, I think of Ruby on Rails, which, you know, you'd type a couple of commands and it would build kind of a base application to which you would then add your unique functionality. Is it the same here?
Sure, like UIKit. UIKit is a framework that lets you create the basic skeleton of an application on iOS, like the navigation bar and the buttons and all those things. And there's all sorts of frameworks. There's core graphics, and Metal is a framework that lets you target low-end GPU stuff. So all of those things are just a collection of code and utilities. And I'm not a developer, so I can't explain it perfectly. But it abstracts your job as a developer and makes it much easier for you to target the things Apple wants you to target.
Yeah. This reminds me a little of the Android Wear architecture. I know when you have an Android Wear Aware app on your smartphone, on your Android phone, it will automatically propagate to your watch without any intervention on your part. And then I've seen at least one app, Evernote, where if you want Android Wear capability, there's a part you have to download that doesn't show up anywhere on the phone. But once you download and install it, now you have Evernote as a note-taking app on Android Wear. So it sounds like a similar kind of system. I'm sure that, you know, once you start using it, it's very, very different. It says,
and it's my understanding
here the
that
UI is stored in the watch app itself.
Yeah, so the UI, it's my understanding that earlier this year, Apple once again refactored Springboard, which is the app launching mechanism, and they broke it up into something called Frontboard. And there's various other ones as well, like Preboard sorry, there's several of them now, not just one big monolithic structure. And I believe Frontboard might be what's running on the watch, and that would basically handle all the interface while the rest of the stuff stayed on the phone.
Yeah,
so
it says here in architecture, UI is stored in Watch app. Plan your UI in advance. Duh. And then code updates UI from the iPhone.
Yeah.
All right. So
again, all the power is in your iPhone. The connectivity is in your iPhone. This is very much the shuttlecraft to the spaceship.
And yet the watch will itself store enough code so that it draws the basic UI, and then you fill it up from the iPhone.
That's what gives you the local performance. Lets the actual application move quickly on the phone.
Ah, yeah. Of course. Of course. That makes a lot of sense. This is all on schedule. This is when they said they would push it out. And I
apologize if I'm not specific, but it released it literally 15 minutes before the show started.
It just came out, yeah. And we'll learn more as time goes by, yeah. I think what's kind of interesting is, and I'm not sure what the time frame is, but if you release it in November, now developers have it. I guess they've done some early work without it, knowing at least the outlines of it. But now they've actually got it. They could start working. And I would say, development, testing, and release is at least a 3 or 4 month cycle. Yes?
Yeah, well, the rumor has it that it'll come out in spring, which means March or April. So they have quite a bit of time to get ready for it.
They have just the right amount, 4 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the release of this in November kind of confirms that.
Yeah.
Here's a look at some of the UI elements. If you'd show this, Jason, this is kind of interesting. So you have switches, you have text controls. These are some of the controls. You have a plus and minus slider. You have date. You can display images. That's cool. If you watch this video, you'll get a much clearer sense of what the watch could look like, or what apps on the watch could look like.